thank you for taking time out to speak to me today. And congratulations on becoming one of the NISTS student ambassadors. That is an awesome accomplishment. And I just want to talk to you about your transfer experience and ask a few questions so that you can share with us and the audience a little bit about your transfer experience. So maybe you could start by just telling us, where did you begin your college career?
So I started at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. It's listed in Perkins, Mississippi, but I'm from Wiggins, so everybody says it's in Wiggins. Perkins is not really a town per se; it's just a few buildings. So
oh wow, it's that small.
It's that small. So they say Perkins, but it's Wiggins. It's Wiggins. I went there from fall of 2019 to fall of 20, and then I transferred to Southern Miss. I went there as a walk-on to play football.
Oh, football. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I got associates in criminal justice, social department.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So you're a football player, or are you?
Yes, I was.
Great, awesome. So, what factors influence your decision to transfer?
So I had fall of 20. I wasn't supposed to leave at that time. I actually didn't graduate from junior college until after spring of 21. So
Okay.
I left a semester early. I only had like 3 classes left. It's funny. My advisor told me early on, hey, don't forget to take your those extracurricular classes, like the little health classes, like those little small classes. Me, I was so focused on
your elective,
you mean? Yeah, my electives. Yeah. I was so focused on my big classes, like my writing, not my writing, World Seals, the comp. I was worried about all my core classes. I was worried about the criminal justice class. I was worried about all of them. I wasn't really thinking about my electives. So time came, she was like, you know, you got to take a walking class. I was like, oh, what are you talking about? She's like, what do you mean by that? Like, I don't remember any of that. So I was like, oh, okay. But I ended up taking those at Southern Miss. I left early for 2 reasons. One, it was to play football. I started playing at Gulf Coast during the pandemic. And
okay.
I was talking to 2 schools, two HBCUs, but if we're being frank, nobody has went into the league out of both of them, and they didn't have a good program for what I wanted to do, so I didn't go there. So I already knew about Southern Miss. My family went there. My mom got a bachelor's degree from there. My dad got his bachelor's and his master's, my stepmom, and so forth. So I was like, okay. I was ended up talking to some of the coaches, and that's what influenced me to go. But also on top of that, I was taking my mother. She had a breast second.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Oh yeah, no, she's fine. She had the gene. She doesn't have cancer, but she had the gene. So it was a preemptive kind of thing. So she got
wonderful.
Taken off. I want to say in October. So yeah, I moved out of the school at Gulf Coast. I want to say in October, and she didn't get fully healed till probably about in the February of 21. So I took care of her during that time. So I just wanted to stay around her. Because even after she was fully healed, she still had to go like the doctor visits. So I still wanted to be around her. Because at first, my initial plan was to go to Vanderbilt. If not Vanderbilt, then some other states, like possibly Alabama, or Atlanta. I was looking at Clark Atlanta. I was looking at Morehouse. And I was looking at Alabama State, Alabama A&M. Well, no, Alabama, West Alabama. Yeah. So.
Well, kudos to you for staying and taking care of your mother. I think that is very commendable. And I know it was a huge sacrifice for you. And I just want to again, say kudos to you for doing that. That's huge. It's super, super, super important. Okay, so I'm going to go into the next question. So in thinking about your transition of those schools, were you concerned, nervous, excited about anything in particular? I know your main goal was to play football. So were you nervous about anything? Were you a walk-on there too, or?
Yeah, I was. So I didn't get to play. I walked on, and during that time, the roster was extremely cool. Like they had a lot of during that time period, there wasn't many schools that was playing due to the pandemic. Also, there weren't many schools that allowed athletes to play without the vaccine. So at
Right.
that time, I
Oh,
was
really? Okay.
yeah. So at that time, I wasn't vaccinated either. I didn't get vaccinated like after the fact, so I wasn't gonna be eligible to play at all. So it wasn't even more so just being nervous on the football aspect. I was nervous on the school aspect as well because in junior college, the school is smaller, so I
Oh,
already
yes.
had my community, I had my people. We all knew everybody.
Right.
And I
Right.
got to university, everything was already closed off, so I would always just go to class and then go home and then go to work. And then I didn't realize how fast paced the classes were because my first class was theory. I hate theory. I hate theory to the life of me. Like I don't understand it. I don't know why it's the way it is, but
Right.
so just having to learn that class and then try to navigate in an environment that I've never been in due to the pandemic. It was weird to say the least. And then it just slowly started to open back up in the fall. But things to me, honestly, things did not get somewhat better to like once I got a year. That's spring 22. That's when I started to get involved at the university and I started joining organizations and clubs.
And that involvement makes a huge difference, doesn't it? I, being a transfer student myself many years ago, I was similar to you, where I went to school, went to my class, and I went back home. I didn't get involved, and it doesn't make for such a great experience. And this is why I work now with our transfer students and I let them know how important involvement is. And you're just a great example of that. So you didn't even start to get to enjoy that experience until you were able to get involved. So that's really awesome. And I know I've been there, and I work towards eliminating that kind of thing because we know how important it is for transfer students, especially to get involved. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you for your candidness in that and honesty with that. So, all right, going to the next question, Ashton. So, looking back on that experience, did anything about transferring in that new environment surprise you or maybe frustrate you, or did everything go as you planned? But I know that was very difficult because we were in the pandemic, so you didn't even know what to expect.
Um, I didn't know what to expect per se. I had to. I don't know. How can I put this? I'm also gonna be frank too. I enjoyed my time at Southern Miss. Great for it, but I started to see how political how being at the university can be. But when I say political, I'm gonna put it like this: in junior college, all I had was football. Like I had my friends, my community, and I had football. That was it. So you at a university, at a bigger one, you have to go out your way to make a name for yourself. You have to go out your way to make networks and connections, things that could excel your life post undergrad and
Right,
whatever God may use you for.
right.
And I started to see that there was a certain game that has to be played at this level. I'm at that level.
What
And
do you
you
mean exactly?
like there's like put it like this at that school at most universities I will say we had this conversation with one of the organizations I was in that as a transfer student you're already at a disadvantage against natives because they've been here for almost 4 years. They've been here since
Mm,
their first year. You got here as a transfer student, you probably only have a year and a half, 2 years left. And
right,
when I applied for this ambassadorship, I had said that I wanted to show people that just because you don't have a year and a half or two doesn't mean you can't make the change necessary.
that's
So
right.
what I mean by the game was like the game is so the game is like it's ever fast and it's ever moving. If you're on that path of trying to impact, make a difference, connect in whatever way, you got to go and get with the goal. So like I said, I didn't get involved till 22, spring 22, and I'm graduating fall 23. So that's a little over a year and a half, and I did a lot to say the least because my thing was I wanted to keep inspiring, keep impacting, keep leading, keep motivating, keep showing the world what a godly black man was on a campus that is a predominantly white institution.
I I really love what you're saying, and I knew exactly what you meant, but I wanted you to explain it for the audience that's going to see the video. And can you talk a little bit about some of your involvement at the institution?
So my first involvement was with the Men of Excellence. That is a community service based organization. It is a predominantly African American organization. It was founded by a woman, African American woman by the name of Ryder Delane in August of 1990. And her mission was to create a space, another additional space outside of the NPHC, which is National Catalina Council, Black Fraternities and Sororities, an additional space where Black men could invoke change at a predominantly white institution and in the surrounding areas as well. From 1990, we've grown to not only cater to just African Americans, but to all men, to all people around the campus. So we've done a lot of philanthropy work with community service, giving back to the homeless, speaking to high schools. We have our own Mox Academy, which starts, we mentor middle schoolers, elementary schools, and high schoolers to grow up, to help them to understand how it means to be a Black man in today's society, and what that looks like as well. So I got in spring 23. I served as the parliamentarian sergeant of arms at first, and then I went on to serve as the corresponding secretary. I ended up creating a annual event called the Table Talk, and what that is that it allows people to, it invokes a safe space, allows people to talk about the things that all of us, not only as college students, but as people in life go through, and how we navigate it. Hopes that those conversations are genuine and organic. It shows you that you are not alone, and that
Right.
that you actually have people here in this world that may even go through what you're going through or have went through, and can offer some sound advice. Because like I told my mentor at one point in time, we all learn from each other. Whether as I'm 22, I can learn from a 12-year-old. I can learn from a 62-year-old, and a 60-year-old can learn from me, and vice versa. It also invokes friendship, camaraderie, all of those things as well. So I did that. I worked in admissions, so I was a part of Eagle Connection, and that is they are ambassadors for the university. So they are the people, like, if anybody was to ever want to see, like, hey, I want to tour for the mission, I want to see what it looks like.
Right.
That's what we did. We also worked in recruitment as well. So we would go out to other schools, other junior colleges and high schools, and recruit prospective students to come to the university. What else did I do? Ooh, I did a lot.
I could tell that you've done
I did a lot,
and it's very impressive.
Yeah. I was a part of a student government association. So I worked on the communications board. We worked I was mainly over outreach. I was the vice president. I was one of the vice presidents for Eagle Time. It's a nonprofit organization that raises money for the children of Mississippi. So before I became a vice president, I was director of marketing, external relations. So my main goal was to look at the finances of the organization and see about how to go about making more meaningful relationships and bring in more donations. Because our big annual event their big annual event is coming in the spring. It's a dance marathon. The reason for that dance marathon is because it was a kid that the reason why our organization got founded. It was a kid that had caught a permanent disease at a young age, and it was made national news. He eventually ended up succumbing to the disease, but all across the world, everybody danced in honor. Like that's what the whole dance.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So we started they host an annual dance marathon every spring. Last spring, they raised over $8,000. So I know this time,
just dancing in his honor.
Yes. So they raised over $8,000. The president was also was in the Men of Excellence with me as well. He's also the president of the Men of Excellence. He's looking to raise, I think, 20,000 is his goal. So he's gonna get that. That's the Eagle Connection, Eagle Time. I did Transfer Student Association. I was on one of the exec boards to help revive that. It started in COVID, but it didn't get the traction that it should have got during COVID. So I helped revitalize that. I was director of recruitment for that. I was a part of EASY, which stands for Eagles After Similar Yearnings, and what that is we mentor incoming African American freshmen. So I had that, and I was also a part of I was also a mentor for transfer students as well through Transfer Student Association.
Wow.
Anything else I'm forgetting?
That's a lot. Ashton.
Yeah.
I can see that you are a true ambassador and a philanthropist. And I am thoroughly, thoroughly impressed. And I have one more question for you.
Mhm.
Okay. So, what is something you wish you'd known before transferring? Or maybe that would have helped you and that you've used to assist other transfer students now that you're able to mentor them?
My biggest thing is I told my last two mentees, I told Zay this, take your time. You know, a lot of times we get in, and I even told the freshmen that I mentor, like, easy, take your time. You're looking to get out of college so fast and so quick.
Right.
The real world is not going nowhere. A lot of my friends like to joke, hey, bills is gonna always be due. First, the rent is always gonna
Yes,
be there. Like it's not going anywhere.
exactly. It's not
It's
that
not
much
going.
fun.
Yeah, it's not. I promise you, it's not. I guarantee you, it's not. But in doing so, you realize that I tell people this: you can go to college as many times as you want to, as many times as you choose to. You can always begin again. But to do college and undergrad, you get one shot at it. So
Mhm.
take your time, allow God to let you experience everything that He has for you to experience. Um, invoke the change He puts in you to do, impact and inspire the people you see on a daily basis, and take all of that in and just bask in that and knowing that these next for transfer students, these next year, two like for me, 2.5, can be some of the most best years of your life. Meet people, live, laugh, do all of those things, join everything, join whatever you choose, do the thing that sets your soul on fire, not for monetary or notoriety, but knowing that you are making a godly, impactful difference in this world. That's what I tell all of them. I said I never rushed anything. I could have graduated spring 22. I chose not to, just because there were still things that I knew God had me to do at the university. There were still lives that I needed to impact. There were still things that He still had for me to do. Without that, I wouldn't have gotten into the career I'm about to get into now with my degree. I wouldn't have met the people that I've met, and that I wouldn't have impacted and saved some of the lives that I was able to save. So I tell people all the time, take your time, because God's time is better than your time. Don't rush anything. If you rush it, you ruin it. But just enjoy where you are now, because if you look about it and you think at it, where you are now is what you prayed to be several years before this.
Man, those are really powerful and impactful words. Are you sure you're 22?
Yes, ma'am.
I need to verify that. I don't know many 22-year-olds that have that type of perspective, but it is very, very impressive. Ashton, it has just been an absolute pleasure to get to speak with you just for a few minutes, but I'd like to say that I look forward to personally meeting you.
Yes, ma'am.
In February, I will be at the conference and I'm going to look for you so that we can meet in person and be able to talk some more. Again, I really thank you for your time and congratulations again.
Thank you.